Epic cinematic B-roll. Cinematic travel vlogs in Bali, Iceland, or some far off place. We've all seen these YouTube videos, typically with the letterbox black bars, the high frame rate slow-mo, or that blurry background, are also known as shallow depth of field. But what does cinematic actually mean? We're gonna break that down in this video. Hi, I'm Kitty with Atola Visuals, and I run a video production company in California, as well as play with camera gear from time to time. Now, cinematic refers to the look and vision of a film to make it look like a movie in a theater. Is there more to it than just throwing an orange and teal filter over your footage? Of course, or else I wouldn't be making this video. First, you need to know what aspect ratio you're gonna deliver your work in. We all know there's 4:5 for Instagram, 16:9 for YouTube, but the most popular for cinematic videos is 21:9 or widescreen. And this is why you see those letterbox bars on the 16:9 videos. But you could export your videos in the correct 21:9 ratio, or better yet, shoot it in the right ratio, which is what we're gonna be doing for this entire video, thanks to this lens. You can use something like this anamorphic lens. Now, typically these lenses cost probably as much as a car, but luckily I have an affordable 50mm sirui lens for my Sony. And this is an APS-C lens, so if you're gonna put on a full frame like we are right now, it will be much tighter. When you're shooting on it with your camera, you'll notice that the image is squeezed. But if you use a monitor like the Small HD Focuses, they have an anamorphic setting to de-squeeze the image for you, because it's really hard to shoot and focus with it like that. And then you'll also have to de-squeeze it in post. So a little bit of workflow and extra work, but it's totally worth it. Another benefit other than the aspect ratio is that you get these really classic flares when you point a light directly into the lens. What the camera is mounted on can also give you different feelings for your story. Do you need camera movement with a gimbal, a slider, drone, or maybe just your hands? Maybe you don't want any movement and you just want to use a standard tripod. Composition, one of my favorites, plays the next important role. The camera angles, where the subject is in frame and how they interact between the background and foreground. It's your job to direct where your audience will be looking in the frame and to keep it visually attractive. Ooh. Ew. That was supposed to be my sexy look. Let's give some love to our sponsors of the day. Oxygen is a flexible banking account set up to help freelancers and entrepreneurs like us. While we're really good at organizing our projects and shot lists, sometimes we need a little bit of help with our finances, and Oxygen can help us out with that. They give you over 55,000 ATMs that you can access with your new card without any ATM fees. The Oxygen app also shows you your financial picture with one glance. I really appreciate this because I can link all my bank accounts to one view while getting info on my spending, incoming bills, and even my expected income. I'm sure you could all relate. Our monthly income is never the same and fluctuates all the time. And then there's times where we take on larger projects which require longer payment terms. After 90 days of banking, you could access a line of credit to help you pay expenses and keep your business growing if you need it. Thank you, Oxygen. Now back to the video. Another way to direct your audience's eyes in a certain part of the frame is with the use of lighting. You can plane sculpt with lighting a million different ways, but typically higher contrast is more popular with that cinematic look. But that doesn't mean that you can't shoot it more evenly lit. Lighting could set the mood and also could tell you what time of day it is. What time is it right now? Do you know? You don't need expensive studio gear to set up your lighting. I have this sheet as my flag with this monopod instead of a C-stand, and my beautiful 120D with the mini dome as my key light. A little ghetto, but it'll do. My favorite film tip, tin foil for shaping. Yes, it's cheap. So I really like this angle because the railing is giving off these really cool lines and shadows pointing that way. And because I only have 2 light stands, we're gonna use my tripod and tape my RGB light tube to the arm. Gaff tape fixes everything. Not only may time of day be important for your story, but also where your story takes place. Which brings me to my next point. Location, location, location. It tells the audience where we are, which could be a historic time in the past or in the future, or maybe we're adventuring to a fictional place somewhere else. Ooh, other worlds. Colors are a fun element that could be manipulated with color grading, lighting, set design, and also wardrobe. Your images could be monochromatic, vibrant and colorful, or maybe desaturated. So experiment and play in this realm. It's interesting to see how films use different types of colors for different situations. We spoke a lot about imagery today, but something that's just as important as what we see is also what we hear. Sound design helps us suck in our audience and helps them forget where they really are. Good acting also does this. Dialogue, the sound effects, the music, sometimes silence itself. That's our job as video creators, is to help keep people engaged in our story while also giving them the message and the experience we want them to feel. The beautiful island of Kauai. You know when you're in a location and it makes you feel a certain way? That feeling for me is a feeling called home. Doesn't matter if you've lived there for years or are visiting for the first time. You feel it. There's that beautiful magic. As you can see, cinematic encompasses so much, but what it really comes down to is doing what's best to show the scene. It can have its standard and popular feel, but you don't have to follow the norm, and that's the best part. This is an art. We paint with lighting, make music with sound design, and transport people to where we want them to go, like some magical captain flying through space and time, but in their minds. Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Find my IG because I post there on the daily. You do you, fam, and I'll see you when I see you. Make some cinematic videos. Done. Bye.